purest essence of what makes a business tick is sometimes fleeting. It's not always available to draw on demand. So if you can capture these things on video, you're capturing magic in a bottle. My name is Tyson, and I own New Line Media. I really believe that the keystone to any successful business is the connection that business builds with the people that it serves. Traditionally, these attributes were all achieved through interpersonal communication. It came through authentic connection. Then the arena of the internet introduced a whole range of resources that expanded what businesses were capable of achieving. But the trade-off for these new resources was that authentic connection with the people that we serve. And without that connection factor, businesses become commodities, just a name and a price tag. So the dilemma businesses face today is how to preserve that sense of connection in a digital space. And I believe that the answer to that problem is video. At New Line Media, my goal is to help you take your influence, your passion, your spirit, your essence, and make it available to anyone, at any time, no matter where they are. When the power of video is truly harnessed, it can become so much more than just a flashy way to promote yourself. Video can help your business build trust in those you serve or want to serve. It can build familiarity. It provides information and education, and most of all, it can pull your customer into your space for a few moments and give them a taste of what working with you would be like. It provides them with that in-house connection experience, no matter where they are. And that is what I focus on, because it's all about making a connection. So if you're a business owner who's ready to shift gears and unbind yourself using video as the business asset that it should be, then go to my site and submit a request to work with me. If I think I'm going to be the best fit for you, then I will reach out and we will schedule a time to meet.
Welcome to the Business Boys Talkin-Business show with your hosts, Brian Magleby and Tyler Price.
Tyler, boy, you got sexy
I know,
over the last
right.
week.
Well, thanks a
Wow.
lot.
Yeah, we're not
some
missing
hair.
Tyler today. Sorry, Tyler.
Chopped off a couple feet. Yeah.
Jeez, and usually I'm sitting there below my picture, and but hey, we've got the better looking, way better looking Tyler Price.
Stop.
Yeah. Those Tyler beauty products are really working.
Skincare, man. Yep.
Very good. Well, welcome to Talkin-Business today. We've got another unique show. We kind of told you last week that we were doing some unique things here in January. We are going to be, so we've got the one and only Christine Gardner with Envision Your Purpose here. We're going to be talking about some of the classes that we've had, some of the ones we have in the future, and then one that she's going to be coaching tomorrow. So we're going to be doing that, and we are so appreciative of our listeners. We're going to actually show after Christine and I talk for a few minutes. We're going to show. I think it was our most viewed, hundreds and hundreds of views on this show that we did last year in August. It was our Inventor show.
I watched it. It was awesome.
We had I think 4 inventors on the show. And and it was just absolutely, they're guys that have come up and patented. Each one of them have patented their idea. And man, did they have some great ideas. If you're ever thinking of patenting a product or an idea or whatever it is that you do, this show that we did talked all about what you need to do. So.
And you had a patent attorney.
And we had a patent attorney there.
I felt was extremely valuable.
And he's local. And man, Brian Batt is just amazing. He's at the Baird St. Clair, Gaffney, I think, law firm. And he's that's what he specializes in. So thank you for bringing up Brian. He's exciting. So Christine, you've been teaching a class today on
goal setting.
And we did a live webinar today. If you missed it and would like the link to it, maybe he can put in the chat box my email, brian@iictr.com. And if you shoot me an email, we will send you the link to this. It was an hour and a half packed full of training of, it's January. Everybody, if they're not, they should be setting goals. And we learned all about what you needed to do to have to set goals in 2023. Some great things. Kind of talk about what you talked about in the class today.
You know, I find that, to be honest, like goal setting, I don't even find the topic super exciting anymore. And the reason why is I feel like there's so many different ways to do it, and ultimately a lot of people, they give up. But today I really wanted to get to the meat and potatoes of what has helped me become a 7-figure business owner. And not only that, but to have a really successful life outside of my career. And so I taught people how to write their own eulogy, which is something that is not exciting for most people to think about. Oh my gosh, one day I'm going to have to die. For me, I grew up in a doomsday cult from the age of 7 to 17. And so I thought about dying often. But for me, I never saw it as, okay, this is an opportunity for me to actually make sure that I live my life in a way that leaves a legacy for other people when I was young. Now, knowing what I know and experiencing what I've experienced, I feel like it is the best way to make sure that when you actually create your goals for the year, you're headed in the right direction, in the direction that you actually want to live your whole life. And so it makes complete sense to create the eulogy, and I actually provided a template. And if you get the recording to the class, you'll also get the template as well, right?
Yeah, they can request it.
Okay.
If not, I think the chat shows up in there, so I think that they do. But if not, you can always send me an email, and I can email you the documents. So.
Yes, so it's an amazing template that basically helps you to write the eulogy based on what do you want God to be able to say about you, and whether or not you believe in God or the universe or stars and the moon or crystals or whatever, like what is it that you want that higher power to be able to say about you at the end of your life? And then what would you like your spouse to be able to say about you? What would you like your children to be able to say about you, your colleagues, your friends? And as I have been able to do that over the last several years, it has changed my way of thinking, my way of pursuing my dreams and my goals, because the truth of the matter is people can be and do almost anything nowadays.
Yeah.
There's so many opportunities we have out there to change our careers, to change our spouse, to change our circle of friends. But if you actually know the legacy that you want to leave in this world when you're gone, then you can actually make sure that the annual goals that you create for yourself are in line with that eulogy.
Yeah. And we added a little bit of humor to the class today. We actually read a eulogy that a lady did the other day, posted on East Idaho News. If you haven't seen it, you got to go watch the webinar, but I'll just give it out. Irene Olson. If you go search her obituary, she wrote her own. And was it funny? It was just incredible. And the link's in the webinar, so you can see that. And then we also, at the end of the class, talked about the poem, The Dash. If you haven't read the Dash poem, I encourage you, search it up. You can search it up. This is called The Dash Poem. And it's a great little class, just a great little poem that goes with what you taught today. That we only live, our headstone is going to say the year we were born, the year we died. But there's that dash in between that you got to make the most of it. So.
Yeah, it's about what you do with the time that you have here on Earth. So.
Yep, very good. Well, good training. Shoot me an email if you'd like the link to that. It was just a phenomenal training today. You and Lawrence Stone, a business coach business trainer here in town, he taught a portion of it as well. So absolutely great training. Now let's put up on the screen, if we could, those trainings that we do, the virtual business webinars, and let's talk about them next month. It's on the first Tuesday of the month, except for the one in January. So now that that's off, in February it's on the 7th. And we're going to talk about employee personalities, the DISC assessment. And if you haven't done the DISC assessment, this is absolutely a great class. that will teach you what your personality's like and how you can work with other people in your company. And this has been one of the biggest aha moments for me and my office staff was when we did this DISC assessment. So
what are you, Brian?
I'm heavy in the D and the I, baby.
Okay, D and I. Okay, that's awesome.
So and I learned that one of our employees, one of our staff members there at the SBDC, she is the exact opposite, S and C.
Okay.
And so when we took this class, we all of a sudden, after years of kind of struggling, we have found that once we understood it and understand that what she's good at and what I'm good at, it's just awesome.
It's like a power partnership.
It is.
You become the yin to somebody's yang.
It is. That just like you said today, that's what you and your husband are as well. So.
Yep, we're the yin to each other's yangs.
Yep. So February 7th is our next class. It's free, and that's the registration to log in to the next one. So we're excited about that. Let's talk about the training that you're doing starting tomorrow on this book.
Okay, I'm super
Clifton's
excited.
Strengths. And so let's talk about this. I took the class last year, and I can tell you that everybody that took the class gave it an amazing review because it learns about what your strengths are.
Yes, absolutely. So is it okay if I tell a quick story
You
about
can.
why it is that I'm so passionate
Take
about
it off
it?
that, we'll put it back up.
So, the first 3 years I was in business, I made less than minimum wage. Okay, my accountant came to me and said, "You actually made a lot more money doing what you did before. Why don't you figure out, number one, how to make this profitable, or just shut your doors and go work for McDonald's because you'd be making more money there?" And I was like, "What do you think I've been doing for the last 3 years? I've been trying to make this profitable." And that was really the slap in the face that I needed, because at the time in my business, I was trying to do everything, like including paperwork, and I am not a details person, and I just really, like, the time that it took me to finish paperwork, I could have called 7 different people, and that's my strength, is connecting with people. And so I got coaches, one including Brian Magleby. He let me just tell you a secret. When I first met him, I didn't really like the guy, but I was like, this is the perfect guy to hold me accountable.
You're not the first person I've heard that from, so no thanks.
Hey, you know what? Once you get to know the guy, he's pretty all right. Yeah. But I was like, I don't want to disappoint this guy, so I want to make sure that I say I'm going to do what I'm going to do. And so him and a couple other business coaches I had, they helped me to identify, hey, what is it that you're really good at, Christine? And for me, that's connecting with people. That's my zone of strength. And actually, my Clifton strength, it's my number 2, but it's the one that I actually lead with, is called WOO. And the acronym, it stands for Winning Others Over. And for me, the way it plays out in my life is I love people. I love knowing what motivates you. I love knowing what inspires you. I want to know all the things, right? And so for me, I started really just connecting with people and helping them solve their problems. And I own a security company, a commercial security company. And so I was making less than minimum wage, and it was very, very painful. It was really difficult for me and my husband in our relationship, our marriage. We were always fighting about money. I never spent enough time with my kid. I put him in daycare. I hardly ever knew if I could even pay the daycare bill. It was just extremely stressful. And but once I started working in my zone of strengths and knowing why it is that I needed to turn this business around, and it was more than just money. It was, I need to save my marriage, because if I go through this financial business disaster, there's no way that this could work out, because we just can't make it work. We're not strong enough right now. And so I used that purpose as my way to really motivate and inspire me to do things differently, to really work in my zone of strengths, to come to Brian every single week and say, these are my goals for the week. These are the people that I'm going to call this week and help solve their problems this week. And I'd come back every week and be like, hey, this is what I've done. I didn't do this, but I did this, and I'm going to do better next week. And over time, it took me 2.5 years to finally break the 6-figure mark. And then another 1.5 years later, I was making 6 figures a month. And now I have that as my business that brings in the cash flow, so that I can go and do whatever the heck I want, which is now helping people to know their strengths.
Traveling to Costa Rica.
Yeah, I also host retreats for women in business in Costa Rica. That is one of the things I love to do. But also, I get to train people on how to utilize their strengths the way that I did, so that they can truly live a life that fulfills them.
Yeah. It's very good. Put that flyer back up there. The class starts tomorrow. Registration is required. And for the first person to sign up, I'm going to give them $50 off that price.
What? You're kidding me.
$149. All you got to do is just come to the class tomorrow. You can pay at the class, and you get $50 off that class if you say Talkin' Business. So that's the 2 key words to say, and you get $50 off that. So Envision Your Purpose, Strength-Based Leadership. Clifton, this is the book. With the admission, with the class price, you get a copy of this book.
And the assessment. So
and the
there's an
assessment and the
that
test.
comes
So
with
you
it.
get 2 things that come with that. The class is 3 weeks, every Wednesday for the next 3 Wednesdays, 1:30 to 3 at the Idaho Innovation Center. You have to be signed up, registered to get into this class, so we can be prepared for you.
And there's a guarantee. Tell them about the guarantee.
The guarantee is I do this with all my classes, but if you do not get your value out of the class, I will 100% refund you the money. And that is something, I've only had to give 1 refund, and guess what? He got COVID during COVID. So that's the only time I've ever had to give a refund. It was not because they didn't get their value, but it was because he got COVID, so couldn't attend the classes. So that's how solid we are on the classes that we hold. If you do not get your value, mark my word, you will get your refund.
Amen, brother.
And it's great. So I'm going to put that up on the screen one more time. Get your cameras out. Flash that QR code. It'll lead you right to the registration. And class starts tomorrow, 1:30. So we hope to see you there. We've got a great class. We're getting close to being full in the class. So I think
we're full. I think we're overly full.
Well, we'll see.
But we'll see.
So we'll see tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll see how
we're gonna set up for enough people in there, so hopefully it'll work. So
yeah.
So very good. Well, let's put up our sponsors. We got to always hit those. We're appreciative of BBSI. They've sponsored us for the last couple of years. We appreciate their sponsorship. Jeremy and Jared and all the boys there at BBSI. What a great company they do, and anything in human resources. Vulpine Marketing, met with him last week. He keeps our website up to date, making some changes, and we appreciate Ryan
you're
and
amazing.
Taylor and everybody there. New Line Media, yeah, he's our producer. He's here every week.
Amazing.
He keeps us going. He does all the amazing video work. So we've in the SBDC and the Idaho Innovation Center. So as Tyler says, the America's SBDC for Idaho. Idaho SBDC, it's the best kept secret in Idaho, because you should look into it. It's free business consulting, just like Christine's talking about the consulting that I've given her for years. It all goes through the SBDC and the Idaho Innovation Center. We have 2 prime offices in our main building that are coming available at the end of this month. So if you need an office space, come see us at the Idaho Innovation Center.
Wow.
And we appreciate them being sponsors of the show. So we've got some big changes coming with Talkin-Business. We are revamping the show.
Really?
Revamping the show. So
Tell us more.
I can't give everything out. We gave a lot of secrets away last week, probably too much, but we're going to be putting it on. It's going to be a new day of the week. We talked about it last week. The show, as of in February, the second week in February, actually, we're going to be doing it on Fridays, and we're going to be doing it at
Friday
10:10.
fun day.
Friday at 10:10. So we will be
10:10.
we will
like
be
it.
pre-recording our shows, but we'll still have trivia contests, and we will be doing the show. We'll be promoting it all week, and then posting the show on Fridays. There still will be trivia. We will have some great new sponsors that we're working with. We're excited for that. And we continue to. We're excited just because it's going to be new. We're going to be new formats that you're going to see the show on. We'll be introducing a podcast. We'll still be showing it on Facebook, YouTube, and possibly adding LinkedIn and a podcast. So we're going to continue to expand. We're going to have a new studio. We are excited about that. More information to come. Most likely next week there will be a show. Tyler will be here by himself. He's working on a guest. And so next week we are hoping to have a show, and then there will be no shows on the 24th and 31st, and we will be launching in early February. So mark our word now, we are not going to have shows on the 24th and 31st. It's my birthday. I got to take it off the 31st.
Happy birthday, Brian!
So we can't do a show then, but we will be taking a couple weeks off and putting everything together to launch bigger and better in 2023, February of 2023.
What's happening the last Friday of each month? I saw something exciting. Can you tell us about that? Or is
Nope,
that
can't talk about that yet.
Okay,
so
it's
we
a
will
secret.
be we'll be talking about that later. So anyway, $50 off if you say Talkin-Business when you show up to the class. But you got to get registered for the strengths-based leadership class starting tomorrow. So thank you, everybody. We're gonna roll right into our most watched show of 2023. It was August 2022, August 9th, and we actually had three of those guys, Craig Mulip, Neil Marion, and Adam Stock. All of them are doing great. In fact, I'm still working with one on getting some investors. I'm excited about that. We had our patent trademark attorney, Brian Batt, there as well. So we had 4 guests. We're going to roll right into that show, and it is about a 1 hour long, but I can guarantee you every minute of it is packed with great information from these inventors. So thanks for tuning in today to Talkin-Business. Make it a great week. Go out there and set your goals, and hopefully you'll see you tomorrow at Strength-Based Leadership class.
See you then.
Have a great week, everybody.
Bye.
Well, regardless of its age, if your tank isn't leaking, there should be no reason to replace it. The biggest problem associated with age is sediment buildup. It'll shorten its life, decrease its efficiency, and cause massive shortages of hot water. At this point, you're looking at buying a brand new water heater, and it's going to cost you hundreds of dollars. For under $100, you can buy a new tool called the Turbo Tank Cleaner, and you can extract this sediment out of your tank, and you can have it working like brand new again.
Put a turbo tank cleaner in your tank and keep your money in the bank.
Imagine not being able to sit at the table with your friends or family because your wheelchair won't fit. Unfortunately, this leaves many unable to socialize or participate in activities, often isolating them to a table all alone. The patented inclusion table solves this problem like no other table on the market. With 4 tabletop sections that independently adjust both vertically and horizontally, the inclusion table can accommodate any dining chair or wheelchair, allowing all persons to be included. The inclusion table looks like a regular dining table, but allows each section to be adjusted quickly and easily. Right-click for up and down, left-click for in and out adjustments. Other features include a static center for condiments or decor, 4-wheeled caster system for easy movement, leveling legs and feet for greater stability, a smooth undersurface to prevent injury. The inclusion table provides the following benefits. Increases PDPM reimbursements for SNFs by improving patient and resident independence, improves emotional and psychological well-being through increased socialization, prevents staff injuries and decreases burden of care, provides 6 feet social distancing when sections are fully extended, and increases the marketing value of your facility. The inclusion table, improving lives by including everyone.
Up next is Cargo Made Easy, an automatic qualifier from the Idaho Entrepreneurial Challenge. Cargo Made Easy ensures that there is safety in the logistics industry and helps businesses save money. Let's check it out.
So Cargo Made Easy designs and manufactures motorized tie-down straps. I've seen so many accidents caused from failing to secure a load, not just what happens to the truckers, but the families that are involved from it. To start a company is hard enough. I love being around this kind of environment. These are people who know what I'm going through. I am in the pursuit of something that's going to make a difference in the world. This is my 2-minute drill. Hello, my name is Adam Stock. I am the founder of Cargo Made Easy, and I am proud to come from a family of truck drivers. My grandfather, father, and uncles were all truckers. I've grown up around trucking. In the United States, over $500 million is generated through the logistics industry. Last year alone, due to COVID-19, this industry has grown 45%. Though these numbers are great, there are still problems in the industry. 11% of products are damaged during the transportation process, and over 200,000 accidents occur due to logistics failures. My customers used to have this problem. Back then, when an employee would fail to secure a load because they didn't have a strap on hand, or because they were just too lazy to untangle the strap they did have. These little problems cost individual companies thousands of dollars a year in liability cost and product damage. These little problems can also become bigger. In the United States, annually, there are over 500 deaths that occur due to logistics accidents. My grandfather was one of those 500 deaths. My family knows firsthand the importance of safety in the logistics industry. And that's why we at Cargo Made Easy design and manufacture motorized tie-down straps that are integrated into truck beds and trailers. A strap is always ready and available for use, never tangles, and is so simple to operate with just the press of a button. Our Kevlar straps are knife resistant and flame resistant, making us the first lockable cargo system on the market. And it can be installed with just the use of a drill and a few wrenches. I am finishing my degree in mechanical engineering and already have years of industry experience. I've surrounded myself with a team of industry experts and business professionals. And with the funds, we will be able to finish our U.S. utility patent and purchase a CNC plasma table. I appreciate your time, and I ask that you consider Cargo Made Easy.
Well, there we go. A little bit about the three guys here and what they've done. But one thing, Adam, just to address with maybe is as people start launching their idea, their product, you went and have competed in a few competitions that helped you, that you won. He was boasting a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. Just like
I was too if I'd won one done.
Just kidding. No, but you did. You won 3 of them, right? You had a solid idea. Did you have a working prototype at that point? No. So, but then you won, and they give you real money.
Yep.
And then from that, you were able to go out. But how do people find out about that aspect of it to compete in competition?
Yeah, so I had actually a friend of mine, like at home, told me about the IEC, the Idaho Entrepreneuring Competition, hosted through Boise State. And one of the things he recommended to me was go to this competition. All you got to do is compete with some other college students, and if you win, they give you a good check. And for me, when I went that year, they gave me $8,000. And so that really got things moving literally was an idea, had a few CAD drawings. I was going to school for mechanical engineering. And I just gave it a pitch, gave it a go, see if I won it, and I won it. And because I won the Idaho Entrepreneuring Competition, they invited me to participate in the Boise Entrepreneuring Week, hosted in Boise every year. Amazing program as well. And from that, they gave me the $25,000.
That's in October, right?
That's in October.
Yeah.
Anybody looking to do that, absolutely go for it.
Check it out. But you got to start now.
Like literally now.
Yeah.
And so that was a great help because it went from an idea, won a little bit of funding, was able to buy some equipment to start manufacturing and prototyping. Then I had a nailed design. When I won the Boise Entrepreneuring Week, they gave me $25,000. I was finally able to fund a patent. My lifelong dream has always been to have a patent. I've always wanted to be like Thomas Edison, right? Those are the kind of guys that had patents. And the kid who wants to be an entrepreneur and an engineer, you got to have a patent to like say you're something in that world. Right. So because of the Boise Entrepreneuring Week and the Idaho Entrepreneuring Challenge in Boise, I was able to literally live my dream.
Yeah.
2 years ago, I never thought I'd be doing this.
Well,
ever.
I think that's great, and that definitely is putting yourself out there. But getting a patent's super easy, right? Craig, what do you think? Just
not
no.
even.
Yeah.
I mean, stuff. What did you have your aha moment, and what caused it? And then, what
Tell us about your product.
Yeah, tell us the product, and then aha moment, and the process to go through it.
The Turbo Tank Cleaner. It's the world's #1 water heater cleaning tool. There's literally nothing else like it.
Yeah.
And how I came up with the idea is I'm a landlord and I'd have to clean out water heaters. I just couldn't believe there was nothing out there that could extract that sediment from the water heater. And I started coming up with prototypes and designs, and pretty long, drawn-out process of trying something, remodify it, try it again, and finally came up with a good prototype that really worked well. And
Yeah.
And the repair companies don't like this because they just like to
Yeah.
throw you a $1,000-$2,000 bill to replace your water heater.
Yeah,
This can save you from not having to do that.
Yeah, water heaters are designed to fail. This
Yeah.
planned obsolescence, and they're designed only to last a certain number of years. And biggest problem is the sediment, and once it builds up, it covers up the lower elements, and
Yeah.
you're running off the top element. Water heater.
Yeah. Very good. How about it? You know, you're kind of in an industry that you're helping. Explain what type of industry you're in, the challenges you've seen, and what was your aha moment in moving towards your path.
Okay. Well, I'm an occupational therapist by profession. And gosh, when I first moved here to Idaho in 2004, I was working with a patient that had MS, multiple sclerosis. And she couldn't get up to a dining table.
Yeah.
And this became a real problem because she was a very social person. So got her up to the table, couldn't fit her up there. So I put her up to a tray table, which kind of takes her back away from the table, takes her out of that social group. As you know, when you get older, you don't hear as well. So kind of took her out of that social group. Then we put her up to a table that elevates. What was good for her, but it wasn't good for everybody else because the table was literally up to the chins on the other patients. So I'm like, what's the solution to the problem? So I started doing some research, and there was no solution.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, what do I do about it? So I started drawing designs, tables, how to do it. And it's a process. I mean, I just didn't come to me overnight. It took me from 2004, 2005 to 2017 to finalize my final design. And yeah, so it's a process. And I'm sure these guys also went through that process of you know, redesigning things and making them better.
Yeah.
So remember one night I was thinking, how can I make my table better? I had a crank thing to bring the table up, but I didn't even have the out function of the table if you saw the video.
Yeah.
And I had this computer on wheels at work that I used to carry my laptop and do my notes. And it would go up and I could sit down or stand up. And then also had a tray table that would come out towards me for my keyboard.
Yeah.
So boom, that's where I got the idea for bringing the table out. Oh, I knew the concept of bringing it up, not out. So now we can adjust the table to the patient versus.
And it can be multiple patients.
What?
Your table can have it,
Yes.
so it's 4 sections.
Yes, 4 sections that are independently adjustable, both vertically and horizontally. And pretty much any, and I took measurements of thousands of wheelchairs, literally, to be able to fit and get the right design and the right dimensions fit pretty much any wheelchair.
Very good. Very good. Well, let's talk. I want to ask a question to all three of you here. How long have you had your patent, and what was the process to get it? Tell us about that process.
Start with Craig.
Yep, Craig.
I've had it a couple of years now, and but I started with a company called World Patent Marketing, and they were kind of a scam.
Scam, yeah.
And I was with them for like 2 years, and they kept sending me drawings and literature to approve, and there's always a bunch of mistakes on it. I'd send it back and wait, and they'd send me something else. And make a long story short, I finally had to drop them, and they
lost thousands of dollars.
They were forced out of business and lost thousands of dollars, and got another guy local. Well, the guy down in Salt Lake. Sandy Utah. Yeah. And
and now we have a better solution to that. We have a patent attorney now in town. People will meet him at the end of the show. So
yeah.
So very good. So how long ago was that you got everything patented?
It was a couple of years ago anyway.
Wow.
And so what was that process from beginning to end? So if you took out maybe part of the initial company, like what do you think it should have taken you to get that to patent?
Oh, it probably took a year or so to get it patented.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's quick, I think. So yeah, usually it's a year to 2 years to get that done. So
yeah, the whole
is it 3?
Took a year and a half.
Did a year. So very good. So but you're currently selling your products on Amazon.
That's correct.
And so you're massively going for it. I met with Craig, and he's got quite the advertising budget, and he's going for it and selling quite a few of them on Amazon each and every day. Good. What was your patent process like?
My patent process, I thought I wasn't going to do one at first, actually. I had gotten some advice from a former employer that owns an engineering company. Shout out to Creative Home Engineering.
There you go.
And they definitely set me up for a great life. And one of his advice to me was don't get a patent because all someone's got to do is change your design a little bit or have more money. He said the biggest thing is someone with deeper pockets than you hold you up in court. They'll drain you in court fees and then you can't own the business and they'll go in and they'll just buy you out. I was like, well, geez, yeah, I don't have the deep pockets. I don't have the funding. I'm a college kid. So I really thought about not getting a patent. And it was just more of a be the first to market, have a quality product, and just run with it. Because on a patent, you have a time window. The moment you go public to where people can see it, you've got usually about a year. At least I hope the training will talk a little bit more about that. I'm not a pro on it. But it was about a year. And so I realized, well, the moment I start talking about this thing publicly, I got a year. And I'm like, I am not going to be able to make I was quoted around like 15,000 to get one. I'm like, I can't come up with 15,000 as a college student with a wife and kids.
Yeah.
Can't do that. And because of the IEC and the Boise Entrepreneuring Week, I suddenly had the funding and I decided, no, I'm going to get the patent. When we got the patent, the process wasn't that painful. I used Brad Frazier down in Boise, Idaho. Great experience. He was able to draw the patent, have it all ready for file in about a month's time. Absolutely perfectly written. Luckily for me, being a mechanical engineer, going to school for mechanical engineering here at BYU Idaho, they were able to teach you how to draw schematics for your design. And so as I started a prototype and design, I never had to go to the process of sending out to someone else to do my prototypes and designs. I was able to do a prototype myself, make a few changes, change it in the schematics. And when it came time to file the patent, I said, here are the designs. What do you want? What numbers? And so I really kind of jumped out of the prototyping phase and paying another company to do that.
And the company that funded this was the winning that competition.
Winning
is
the
that right?
competition.
Well, that was good to use that money to do that and not go to Hawaii.
Yeah,
So it's good for
we're
you.
thinking that or a new plasma table.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like 15 grand for an awesome piece of equipment to manufacture faster.
Yeah.
But I got a lot of advice from people a lot smarter than me. And
Yeah.
it was eventually you might want to license this out or license a part of the company,
Yeah.
right? I want to get into the industrial trucking company. I don't want to touch that. So I want to license that out.
Yeah.
You can't do that without.
Right.
So that's why.
Neil, what was your process like?
Well, I used Peterson and Company in Boise, Idaho. Ken and Barbara there did an excellent job with my utility patent. I had it within a year and a half. Of course, you go through the patent pending process, and then you actually get the patent itself.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, my I don't know how long yours is. Mine is 29 pages, and I've been through that through a fine tooth comb. That goes through errors and everything, and so. You spend late nights.
Up to you. It's not on
But,
camera.
yeah,
There,
maybe move it over.
there you go. That is the patent.
Yeah,
So,
and it's gosh, I don't know how long, but it's very detailed.
well,
And I spent many nights going reviewing that and making sure that everything was just perfect with it. And my wife got me this nice trophy too. So
Yeah.
So
very good. Well, this is nice to see. There's three different people. Is your product currently being sold? Not quite
Just
yet.
about.
Just
My
about
patent
ready.
is pending, but we're still going to market.
Right.
And so I'm hoping by next month our website is up and running and people can start ordering.
And your product is going to be starting available in the spring. Is that right?
yes, should be end of February, early March. We're starting mass production this October, and it takes a month and a half to get right here. So
Well,
yeah.
very good. We got three different people in different levels of their.
Yeah. But this is the process, right? You have the dream. If you're not willing to, well, if you're willing to be vulnerable, you enter competitions. You figure out solutions to problems that you see every single day, and here we go.
And so, give me an idea. What can people expect to pay for that patent? What's the pricing that you had to, and I call it invest into it.
I'd say 15 to 20,000. To around there.
15 to 20,000.
That's what mine.
Yeah.
Mine was about 12, and then you have the resubmitting after about 18 months. And so they tacked that on. So 15. Yeah, that's very good. I was thinking 50 when I started. Yeah, I was actually surprised. It's a lot cheap. Very cheap. Very good.
But that's just the utility patent. I also have a design patent that I applied for, so probably a little more than that. I have a design patent that's pending right
Is it?
Yeah.
And what happens, because you guys have put yourself out there, you've done this, what happens if someone starts infringing on what you do?
You should talk to the lawyer and
Yeah.
Lawyer up.
Lawyer up.
And we've got the good one on the end of the show today.
Yeah.
So he is so knowledgeable.
Because sometimes it comes back to what you said, you can license other companies to use your patent, right? But you're getting paid for not having to do some of the heavy lifting. So that can be a strategy, or it's just shutting them down altogether, right? But it's heavy lifting and work that you probably don't want to do. But
I'm excited to say one day, like, you're going to be talking with my attorney.
yeah, Brian says that every day.
You do need to protect yourself.
Yeah.
Have an idea, keep it quiet, keep your drawings to yourself. Nobody knew about my idea except for my family, my close friends that I knew. So once that gets out there, it's.
Oh yeah, and I piggyback on what he says. If you need to talk to someone, like consult to move forward, get a non-disclosure agreement. You can get those off online, different places. I'm sure
we have one.
SBDC, you guys can get those, and just have someone sign it. There came a point where I needed to talk to someone, but I knew it'd come back to bite me when I filed. So I just started having people filing it. So when I went into the attorney, it was like, here's 6 of them, and they're like, sweet, you're prepped and ready.
Yeah.
So start
And
getting
read the fine print. They're only good for a year or two.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good.
It's great to have it and not need it and to need it.
So Craig, you're kind of a little bit ahead of these, is where you're in the process of selling. So what have you found that that is the best way to market your product? If they go to your website, what are they going to find?
Well, my website I'm changing right now. It's more of a landing site, and it's to educate the people. There's a lot of information they need to know. I'm covering stuff like how to repair water heaters, just a big gamut of stuff. And then from there, it sends them to Amazon site, and they buy the product on Amazon. They collect all the taxes, ship it, take their share, and send me the money.
Send you the balance.
Yeah, I'm basically retired. I don't want to mess around. Mailing stuff.
You just love the check that comes.
Well, it's not really about the money. It's just the challenge of.
Yeah. Well, the money doesn't hurt. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So somebody then looks at this and they're like, yeah, I can do that. Like your product, you have to educate the client or the consumer, because I didn't know this thing existed. 2 years ago, I just bought a new water heater when I probably could have got away with using your product, right? And it was
and that's the
$1,200.
main challenge I'm facing now is people just don't know about it.
Yeah.
There's never been anything like this water heater, and they're just disposable. People just throw them away, get another one, and they don't have to spend that much.
Yeah. Very good.
Very good. Well, I want to ask a question to all three of you again. Would you do it again?
Oh, hell yeah.
Would you? All three of them, they would do it again.
Maybe not the same way, but I would do it again.
You would do it again. So I highly recommend that. That's motivation to see, especially where we have all three different levels of production area. So tell us, what else is what's next for each of your companies?
Well, I'm changing my marketing. I'm revamping my website. I've got a new marketer in town here, Strive Marketing. They're going to be building a bunch of content for me, and they're going to do some affiliate marketing where these influencers that have like YouTube pages and stuff, with a whole bunch of different subscribers, they're going to reach out to them, and they're going to give them like a link where after they watch their video, they can click on the link, and the customer will receive so much off, and they'll receive so much off.
Yeah.
Gonna try that.
Yeah.
Very good. But anything next for you?
Getting to market.
Yeah.
That's what I'm excited about. I've been designing, and I'd like to get paid. Like that's what I'm excited about. It's so much different than a service business. You don't get paid until you're done. Like, Yeah, and it's been a long going process. So I'm looking forward to getting paid.
The getting some revenue in.
Just something back.
Very good. I've met with Adam quite a bit, but this guy is I'd call him a young genius. He's got so many different ideas. I've heard of his that he's got not. This isn't the first patent that this guy's going to be doing. So
No, I like picking his brain on some
exactly. So and yours is what's the next step for you to get your
Well-
products here so you can start selling?
You can go to inclusiontable.com. Our website is up and going.
Okay.
You can, inquire about investing. You can pre-order your table, so that, you're on the list. I really believe this is going to catch fire, quickly. So go pre-order your inclusion table, your own. But we're probably going to be collaborating with a big, medical supply company, and they'll do all the healthcare markets in the US and Canada. So we're going to sign a 3-year contract with them. They're very interested in my table, as well as, and then we're going to be doing the marketing on our side for all of the business, schools, restaurants, businesses, because there's so many applications to the inclusion table, not just in healthcare, but all across the board. So, go on the inclusiontable.com, you'll see a new commercial we just made. And you'll see a young boy in a wheelchair in a school setting with his friends, accessing the table, being able to be included in activities.
Yeah.
So in the fashion. So there's a lot of applications for it.
Yeah.
So we're excited for the future. The sky's the limit. Seriously, this thing has limitless potential.
And so when do you feel like you'll be shipping products that are ordered? March. And how about,
Hopefully next month.
okay. You've been shipping product for how long now, Craig?
Couple years.
Okay. Yeah, you're old hat. Man.
Yeah. He's already enjoying that monthly paycheck that you guys are yet to look for. When we invite people to be on our show, we ask them to give some small business advice, and I just wanted to go through some things that Craig here said. His suggestion is find your niche, find a unique problem, and discover a solution. And it also adds, don't just do it for the money. He's in the retirement, so he of course would say that. But take advantage of internet marketing and advertising. It is a powerful tool. And Adam, he talks about Simon Sinek gave the thing about being a finite player versus an infinite player. Explain that.
So I love this. When I heard that, it changed everything. And finite player says, I got to be the best, right? But what happens when you're not the best, right? And you start to lose, right? You look at the Wright brothers. He had a competitor when they were trying to build the airplane. This guy had all the government funding. I can't remember his name. Had all the government funding, everything in the world, right, to build it. The Wright brothers were like a bicycle shop with no funding. And this guy was all talk, and finally there came a point in which Wright brothers beat him. And rather than being like, "Hey, let's make this better," the guy dropped out. Never heard of him ever again. And the Wright brothers went off.
That's why you don't know his name.
That's why you don't know. That's perfect, right? But being a finite player, you recognize some days you're going to be in the league, and some days you're not. Some days you're going to have a great design, and then someone's going to beat you. Or some days the product and the company's going to be working, and it's not. But whereas an infinite player recognizes, I'm in this game for the long haul. If I ask you, like, who's first place in business, there's not. But why do we arbitrarily put that out there that I have to be first place? But if you'll be your first place self, right? Today I'm going to be my best self. I'm going to give it my all every single time. You're an infinite player. You recognize some days you're going to lose and you're going to be in the hole, and you recognize some days you're going to win. And so be an infinite player, not a finite.
I love it.
All about just being better for yourself, your family, the community, and the business. Just be your best.
I love the humility of that. So very good. And Neil, I'm going to just read these 4 things that he gave. And I hope that you guys are paying attention to this. Don't listen to distractions like market fluctuations, inflation, politics, wars, climate, and let me add the news. So if you watch the news, that's all the things you're going to hear.
Yes.
Yeah. So always stay focused on your end goal. Work hard and work smart. Have the courage to make tough decisions. Love that. And stay humble and hungry. And that kind of goes to add what Adam was saying. And just some great advice for the entrepreneurs, those people who are possibly looking for patents out there. So is there anything else you guys want to tell us about these amazing products that you guys, and kudos for you guys for taking the steps to get your products patented. Is there anything else you want the people to know out there about your products?
I have the gift card to the restaurant,
Okay.
and it's $50 to
Texas Roadhouse.
Yep.
And who doesn't love Texas
And
Roadhouse?
I just want you guys to think about accessibility. And the reason I got this is because I want people to think about accessibility in restaurants or any public place that you go to. The ADA of 1990 doesn't cover everything. It covers everything, but the word is not out there all the time. So accessibility. So when you go in a restaurant, when you go into Texas Roadhouse, think about, put yourself in their shoes. A patient that's in a wheelchair, and how are they going to get in there? How are they going to sit up to a table? So just think about that and put yourself in there.
And you could win that gift card here in just a few minutes. So
Very good. Thank you.
So anything else?
I'd say for me, you think I was just talking with these guys before the show. My favorite part about running this business is everybody has a story. Like, how many times have you driven down the road and someone had a load come off? A log came off for you, right? Hay bale comes off.
I had a 4x4 steel thing in the middle of the road that had just dropped off a trailer last week.
Exactly. Everybody got one in here, right? Like, literally everyone has. And I love hearing. Now, I don't like hearing the stories, but I love hearing that I'm solving the problem. I would love to eventually, generations from now, right? This strap is built into the truck bed. There's no excuse to not have a strap. You can't say it's tangled. You can't say it's torn, and you can't say I don't have one. You've always got one on hand. Easy to use. My favorite is watching like grown freaking men like having no idea how to work a ratchet strap. Push a button. I think we can all do that. Right? And I love that it's solving a problem that people are having. I would love to hear, from my kids to say, I've never seen a load come undone. Awesome. I know I've made the world a better place. Over 600 deaths occur in the United States every year from failing to secure a load. Like that impacts families. Forget the loss of the money in businesses, right? It's the community, it's lives, and that's just simply because someone didn't tie a load down properly. And so it means something for me, right? I come from family truck drivers. It means something to haul a load the proper way, get it where it needs to be, and make sure everybody's safe. And so I've got some hats here for Cargo Made. Because we like to see, like, what are you made of? We're made for cargo, and what are you going to do with it? So
very good.
And we even put in, just to kind of remember, we put the Talkin-Business in the back.
Hey, there you go. We like that. Custom made.
And I almost forgot. We've got some stickers in the hats that kind of go with, because it's important to remember what you're made of and what you stand for.
Good. Well, we're gonna give that away. We got some trivia questions we're gonna ask her after Craig answers that question.
Well, first of all, I'd just like people to know that this tool is actually out there and exists. And if you're having trouble with your water heater, please visit the website.
Watch the videos. They're very simple, quick videos.
Yeah, it's very easy to do. You don't have to drain your tank, but your water heater may not need clean. But if you're having any trouble with your water heater, check out the website. There's a wealth of information on how to fix your water heater. And there's all kinds of links to different YouTube videos walking you through that process, and do that before you call the plumber, because you'll regret it later.
Yeah.
Very good. Good. Well, I've got 3 trivia questions that we're going to ask here. First of all, on Craig's turbo tank cleaner. He's mentioned it a couple times. Now, can you put my cell phone number up there?
Go.
There it is. If you can text that number, get ready to text as fast as you can. So the question, and he's going to give away one of those turbo tank cleaners, a $54.95 value if you find him on Amazon. Is that right?
That's correct.
$54.95 is the value of that. So if you could use a turbo tank cleaner, the answer is, where is he currently selling all of his products? It's a common answer. That should be one of the easier ones. So if you would like to win the turbo tank cleaner, where is Craig and the turbo tank cleaner being sold? You can find it on his website.
Well, I'm texting right now.
What are you talking about? Yeah, sure. You're saved in my phone, so I might know that that's you. So very good. And on Adams, the trivia question to get these. Oh, And these are the value of these hats with him putting Talkin-Business on the back. It doubled the value of that. So, tripled it. So I want you to answer the question he talked about at the very beginning, and it was on his video, of what contest did he win? And where was that contest? Yeah. Well, the big the $25,000 one that you talk right now.
Yeah. This is a great shout out to them.
Yep, and I know people are getting ready to start their for their October. So very good. And on Neil's, we just some great advice that you gave for the auto. I just thank you for that. But I want you guys watch the video on his. How many different quadrants are there on his table? So my phone's starting to light up. Oh wow, we've got a lot of people that are answering those. So answer those questions, and he's got $50 to Texas Roadhouse if you answer.
And a book on Power of Optimism.
Yeah, and hold that book up there. Power of Optimism. Power of Optimism book is he's going to put with that with the $50. So thank you on these inventors for being here and talking about your products. So yeah, absolutely. We wish you each of you the best in the future. We're here to help support you in your endeavors. And thanks for the prizes that you brought to give away as well. So thank you very much. Very good. We're going to go right now to a quick ad from talking about the SBDC and what the SBDC has to offer. Good job, guys.
The Small Business Development Center is a statewide network made up of professional consultants in 6 locations throughout the state. Companies come to us with a felt need, and our goal is to help them reach their core need. The Small Business Development Center is a statewide network made up of professional consultants in 6 locations throughout the state. Companies come to us with a felt need, and our goal is to help them reach their core need. Once we determine that, that's when we start to see companies prosper.
The SBDC helped us start, hands down. Having the tech center, having the resources from the SBDC helped us start our business, and we couldn't have done it without them.
The consultants of the Small Business Development Center are professional executives, CEOs, entrepreneurs themselves that really can relate to each of the small businesses to help them achieve their goals.
They got to know our business, inside and out. We told them everything about how our business works.
I feel like the interest that he showed too gave them a little bit more of an idea of where we needed help in.
The resources being tapped into my executive team, who themselves tap into SBDC almost weekly to gain information and knowledge base that becomes very instrumental in us